You know you have a broken TCG if drawing 2 cards with no consequences breaks your game to the point where you have to forbid the card totally. Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you for clicking on this video. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. It really helped the channel out a lot, and let's get straight to it. Hope you enjoy. Yu-Gi-Oh is beyond broken. If you've never played, stopped playing a while ago and want to get back into it, or you just want to play casually, it is extremely hard to get into. Yu-Gi-Oh is a primary victim of its own power scaling, and now it's completely unrecognizable from what it was just 5 years ago. There's Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, XZ, Pendulum, Link Summoning. Players are getting beat in 1 turn now, which means that somebody's literally getting beat without even playing a card. They just flipped the coin and entered the match. And that's gotta be one of the most frustrating things ever, sitting down to play a game and losing immediately in an online match. But it's a normal occurrence now. Once you get up to gold and platinum and legendary ranks, everybody has first turn win or second turn win decks, because if you can't beat them, join them. So a large number of people have migrated to those types of decks. I mean, it creates a perpetual echo chamber of suffering for anybody trying to use an actual deck. There are so many decks, effects, and cards that you can mix and match 2 or 3 from any generation, and you're bound to get a lethal interjection at some point. I mean, this game just loads in more meta-breaking cards than it does ban and limit them. When you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh today, you basically have 1 or 2 options. Either you play the TCG, you buy the cards and show up to tournaments, or you opt for an online form like Duel Masters or Master Duel. And the thing is, both in person and online, there's 2 different types of matches. You can play ranked, which is obviously going to be the harder one, more competitive one, or you play a casual match, because you're just casually playing. The thing is, people test out the ranked decks in casual matches. So in casual matches, a lot of time, you're still gonna get hit by first turn win and second turn win decks and lose immediately, forcing you to play by yourself and play against a computer. For me, I play Yu-Gi-Oh online very often because I like the strategy aspect of the game when I get good RNG. And that's the tough part, because for ranked matches, you have to string together 3 or 4 wins in a row to actually rank up, which means that you have 3 chances to meet somebody with this uberly OP deck. So the coin toss in the beginning of a match can decide the winner. And last time I checked, that is not congruent with a strategy game. There's just so much to the meta. If you played Yu-Gi-Oh a while ago at the top level, like you were the a couple years ago, and you were winning tournaments and everything, and you just put it down for later, if you were to come back to it now after a couple years, it's a totally different game, because they just keep loading game-breaking cards every cycle. In OG Yu-Gi-Oh, normal cards like Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Magician could run your game if you somehow, some way, just found a way to get them onto the field. I mean, the monsters that you were summoning as level 4 or lower monsters that you could easily put out there never exceeded 1500 or 1600 attack sometimes. But then, with each new iteration of the anime generations, they tried to make Yu-Gi-Oh more spectacular by loading in cooler decks with more fusion summons or more synchro summons, and in turn we got decks like Cyber Dragon or the Black Wings, which could easily special summon multiple monsters on the field at the same time, or make you attack twice in 1 turn, which is OP. Well, those decks were OP at the time. Now they're considered mid and couldn't get you too far in any ranked matches or tournament play. Let me just bring up some examples for you. The first series after the original series was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and basically they wanted to push fusion summoning, which brought elemental heroes and Neos. And also, they had more effect monsters like Yubel, which you could put on the field, and it was really rare for a monster to not be able to be destroyed by battle or take any damage during a battle. Synchro summoning came next with Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and again, you could get the Blackwing deck or the Junk deck, which specializes in just cramming the field with a whole bunch of monsters. Then you got XZ summoning, where you didn't need anything really special, you just needed 2 monsters to be at the same level to special summon from your extra deck. And then with Pendulum summoning, they just opened up the floodgates, and now you could summon up to like 5 or 6 monsters at a time. The most recent addition to fusion in the game now has become Link summoning, and they kind of dialed it back some because they had to before the game was actually broken. So Link summoning isn't exactly OP, but it is pretty useful, and the monsters do have some pretty nice effects. Yu-Gi-Oh is so broken now because it spent so much time breaking itself with each new generation of the anime. making cool anime moments, but making everything current, thus breaking the game and making players keep up with all the newest stuff to enjoy it. Say what you want about franchises like Pokemon, but the power scaling is immaculate. Dragonite, to this day, is still a pseudo-legendary that people look for in their games, and he's been with the Pokemon franchise for like 25 years now. Yu-Gi-Oh players, on the other hand, have no morals. They're loyal to no flag, and they'll use any deck with any monsters that they don't have a personal connection to beat your ass. Now, the absolute fan favorites like Dark Magician or Blue Eyes White Dragon, those decks are still available in the game, but only because they've been buffed up so much with structure decks that they're completely unrecognizable from what you've seen in the anime. The only thing that would be consistent is like a Chaos Form card or the actual Dark Magician, and solely because of its name. It's kind of similar to how Dragon Ball broke itself with its power scaling, especially after the Frieza saga. And like I said before, again, it works with the immediate satisfaction, but 25 years later, Dragon Ball and Yu-Gi-Oh are totally different and unrecognizable from what it came up on, really. Remember when 9,000 power level meant you're the shit? Pan probably came out the box with 12,000 straight off the rip. Yu-Gi-Oh can't even stop itself from itself. They forbid and limit numerous amounts of cards, and right now the list is up to 103, which, side note, doesn't compare to the amounts of cards that show up in the shop every week. And from the outsider's perspective, they're seemingly forbidding and limiting cards that have simple effects, like Pot of Greed allows you to draw 2 cards. You know you have a broken TCG if drawing 2 cards with no consequences breaks your game to the point where you have to forbid the card totally. Me personally, I don't even think it should be possible to win a duel unless each player had a chance to at least go. But some of the famous first turn and second turn win decks include Exodia and Numeron. And I come across these decks all the time. With Exodia, all you have to do is collect all 5 Exodia cards. And Yu-Gi-Oh knew that that could be broken, considering that you can have 3 of each card in the deck, so they limited it to 1 card of each in an Exodia deck. What people just do is just place a monster down that can't be destroyed or take battle damage, and then you just keep drawing cards and cycling through all your cards until you have all of the Exodia cards. So these are either first turn wins or like 40 turn wins, and they're just horrible to experience. And you have no shot from the beginning unless you have like one uber specific effect in your deck. And now, out of nowhere, Numeron decks are a thing where somehow, I don't even know how they do this, but they add 13,000 of their own life points and then do 13,000 damage to you with like a 3-card chain. I don't even know how it gets done. And for all of you who don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, thank you for sticking this long and watching this video. But for all of you who don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, 13,000, anything 5 digits in Yu-Gi-Oh is like overly crazy. They only did that in the anime like 1 time. That is overly crazy. Even after forbidding, limiting, changing the names of the cards and stuff, there are still broken decks and they still run rampant in online and probably in-person tournaments too. But yeah, that's all I had to say about the Yu-Gi-Oh decks. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for staying this long. I tried to record a Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Masters video, but my computer was messing up, but I just got an idea in my head. I could just put it in my PlayStation and then record it that way. Okay, yeah, I might record a Duel Masters video still. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for staying this long. Welcome to the Bread Show, even though you're about to leave. Why don't you stay a while and watch another video? Love y'all. Give inspiration in all you do, and peace out. Yu-Gi-Oh players, on the other hand, have no morals. They're loyal to no flag, and they'll use any deck with any monsters that they don't have a personal connection